The top 10 things to do in Detroit this summer. Whether you've lived in Detroit your entire life or you're just visiting Detroit for the weekend, you're not gonna wanna miss this one. Today I'm gonna run through 10 super awesome, super entertaining things that you can do in Detroit this weekend or any weekend or weekday for that matter. But you're definitely gonna wanna stay until the very end of this video because I'm saving the best for last. Or at least in my opinion I am. But before we get started, it would mean the world to me if you guys could tap that like button and maybe even subscribe to my channel while you're at it. And as always, here's your reward for doing so. It's an inside look at Bill Murray's favorite summer shenanigans. Check it out. First off, Bill likes to crash local kickball games, and then there's just something about playing golf to the sound of a soothing bass guitar that just, really helps you fine-tune your game. And when he's not rocking out, sometimes it's the simple act of walking into a stranger's engagement photos, or perhaps just sitting with random people at a sporting event that does it for him. Either way, let's just hope that we can have a summer as good as Bill's, and with this list of the top 10 things to do in Detroit this summer, I'm absolutely sure that we will. So let's get started. Coming in at number 10, why not start off with the People Mover? I mean, we are going to need a way to get around the city to check out all of these places, right? If you're not familiar, the Detroit People Mover is a 3-mile elevated and automated train system that operates on a single track encircling downtown Detroit. While many may view this as simply a mode of public transportation, I myself think it's an attraction all of its own. Not only does it give you an incredible view of the city, but each of the 13 stations also features some incredible artwork from various artists. Be sure to check the calendar first though, as the People Mover is currently on a limited operating schedule and will only be stopping at 8 of the said locations. On a positive note, however, the DPM will be offering free rides through August 18th. Just mention discount code Hubel. Nah, I'm just kidding. They'll give you a free ride anyway. What about number 9? Now that you've gotten off the People Mover, say perhaps at Grand Circus Park Station, you might as well jump on over to Comerica Park to catch a game. The best part, there is so much more to do there than just watch the game. As the home of the Detroit Tigers, it's safe to say that we can typically expect more losses than wins, but that's neither here nor there. The place is still a load of fun even for those who may not enjoy the sport itself. I mean, come on, most of y'all love a little summer drinking at the ball game, and for those of us that don't drink, there's plenty for us to do as well. I mean, come on guys, this place has a carousel, a Ferris wheel, a mammoth water feature that's choreographed to any music, and of course a decade by decade pedestrian museum in the main concourse. This place has more fun than your body has room for. Well, that's enough of that. Let's move on to number 8. While we're on the topic of museums, I guess that makes right now a great time to talk about the Motown Museum, home of Hitsville, USA. The Motown Museum is the ongoing heartbeat of the Motown legacy, a global tourist destination for music and history fans that celebrates the authentic story of Motown from its humble beginnings to its emergence as the sound of young America and beyond. The museum brings together fans, people, and ideas from different generations, and it captures the imagination to fuel dreams and inspire accomplishments. Currently, the museum is closed and will reopen this summer after completing phase 1 of the multi-million-dollar expansion that began 3 years ago. The first phase is the renovation of the 3 houses owned by Berry Gordy Jr., where he started Motown Records. The second phase is scheduled to be finished this summer alongside phase 1 and will consist of a new plaza that will stretch across the front of the museum, which will include a pop-up performance space and the front door of the new 50,000 square foot building expansion. The original Motown Museum, also known as the Hitsville House, will have some historic conservation work completed as well. With new facilities, new programs, and new resources coming online, Motown Museum will continue to enhance accessibility, elevate surrounding communities, and cement their role as a global leader in providing education and world-class resources for budding artists and entrepreneurs. But don't don't worry, you can still check out the virtual exhibition on the museum's website while we patiently await that grand reopening. And now we're at number 7. Visit the Detroit Riverwalk, which was recently voted the best riverwalk in the United States, of course. The Riverwalk spans more than 3 miles from Rosa Parks Boulevard to the Belle Isle Bridge. This breathtaking feature offers the Riverwalk Cafe for guests to fuel up for an enjoyable walk, run, bike ride, or just to relax. Aside from taking a walk or a bike ride on the Detroit Riverwalk, take in the sights of the new Detroit developments. Splash around in several of the fountains or maybe the splash parks for the kids. Ride the carousel, enjoy the nature areas, and take in the views of both Detroit and perhaps Canada, eh? The nonprofit in charge of the Riverwalk was formed with the mission of developing access on the Detroit International Riverfront. The entire vision is a 5.5-mile riverfront property from the Ambassador Bridge to Gabriel Richard Park, just east of the Belle Isle Bridge, and will include the construction of a continuous riverwalk along with plazas, pavilions, and green spaces. The Riverwalk hosts various programs throughout the year, including special events and weekly programs. For more information about upcoming activities, you can check out their website in the description below. We're nearly halfway through. Here's number 6. I don't know about you guys, but I'm starting to get hungry. Why don't we check out some of Detroit's incredible dining experiences? First off, we've got Selden Standard, a top quality farm-to-table restaurant located in Midtown Detroit. And of course, Chartreuse, which was named Detroit's best restaurant of the year by the Detroit Free Press in 2016. Chartreuse Kitchen and Cocktails is an exceptional seasonal farm-to-table restaurant, and I hear they make a killer cocktail as well. For a more casual experience, you need to get a Detroit-style hot dog. And if you talk to the locals, there's no better place to get one than Lafayette Coney Island, located right in downtown Detroit. And let's not forget about the noodles. Ima's a hip noodle bar with 3 locations in Detroit, including locations in both Corktown and Midtown. As a result, delicious fusion-style noodles are close by no matter where you are in Detroit. There truly are far too many must-eat-at restaurants in Detroit, and that's why I'll be tossing my favorites down in the description below. On to number 5, the Detroit Institute of Arts, also known as the DIA, which is located in Midtown Detroit. The DIA has one of the largest and the most significant art collections in the entire United States of America. With over 100 galleries, it covers 658,000 square feet, with a major renovation and expansion project completed back in 2007 that added 58,000 additional square feet. The DIA collection is regarded as among the top 6 museums in the United States, with an encyclopedic collection which spans the globe from ancient Egyptian and European works to contemporary art. The museum building is highly regarded by architects. The original building was designed by Paul Kret and is flanked by north and south wings with the white marble as the main exterior material for the entire structure. The campus is part of the city's Cultural Center Historic District, which is also listed in the National Register of Historic Places. As one of the most visited art museums in the entire world, the DIA truly is a must visit if you're in Detroit. And then there was number 4. Attend a concert at one of Detroit's many concert venues. One of my favorites has gotta be St. Andrews Hall, which of course is also home to The Shelter, which is best known for being one of the first stages where Eminem performed. We all remember the movie 8 Mile, right? Then we've got the Majestic Theater, which is the theater located in Midtown Detroit that was listed on the National Register of Historic Places back in 2008. Today, the theater is mainly a music venue. And let's not forget about the Fillmore Detroit, a multi-use entertainment venue operated by Live Nation. Built in 1925, the Fillmore Detroit was known for most of its history as the State Theater. Again, there are just far too many to list them all out for you guys, so I'm gonna add a few more of my favorite spots in the description below. Well, we've made it into the top 3, and at number 3, we've got Visit Belle Isle. Rich with history and natural beauty, Belle Isle Park is a Detroit gem and a Michigan State Park. The 987-acre Island Park features the Anna Scripps Whitcomb Conservatory, the Belle Isle Aquarium, Dozen Great Lakes Museum, giant slide, athletic fields, picnic areas, tennis courts, the Belle Isle Nature Zoo, the James Scott Memorial Fountain, and more attractions popular with all ages and interests. The park includes 3 lakes, 150 acres of wooded area, and spectacular views of the Detroit and the Windsor skyline. If you're in town and you've yet to experience Belle Isle, you really need to get it on your itinerary. Now these last 2 are a couple of my favorites. At number 2, we've got cycling in the city. And no, I don't just mean ripping through the downtown traffic on my Slayer-themed fixie. I'm talking about the kind of rides that you can take the family on. If you're hoping to stay within the bounds of the Motor City, the DeQuinder Cut simply can't be beat. This paved trail extends for 2 miles along a former railway line and offers views of the Detroit River, plenty of fascinating public art, and some of Detroit's most unique neighborhoods. If you get tired along the way, stop and enjoy some of the area's green space or benches. And then, of course, we've got the Belle Isle Park Bike Trail. This iconic island park is home to plenty of attractions for Detroiters to enjoy, but its bicycle trail is decidedly underrated. The bike route extends along the edge of the island and runs alongside the road, so be sure to keep your eyes peeled for traffic as you ride because they're not going to look out for you. Along the way, stop to enjoy the views of the Motor City skyline or maybe even continue right off the island and across the Riverwalk for yet another fantastic place to ride. And that brings us to number 1, which I may be a little biased towards. Discover Detroit's historic architecture. All right, I know. Not everyone has a deep passion for historic architecture in the same way that I do, but for now, how about we rattle off, say, 3 of the most iconic examples and go from there. First off, we've got the Michigan Central Train Depot. It was once the most iconic example of blight in the city, and in a few years, it may be an iconic national example of redevelopment. The last train rolled through Michigan Central Station in 1988, and for years after, vandals scrapped it. But 2008 was a historic year for the station. Ford purchased the depot and plans to make it a centerpiece of its Corktown campus. Plans include local retail and restaurants on the main level, which will be open to the public. Next up, we've got the Fisher Building, Detroit's largest art object. Built right before the Great Depression, this Art Deco masterpiece continues to dazzle visitors. Albert Kahn designed it for the Fisher brothers in what would be known as New Center or a second downtown. More than 40 different kinds of marble were used, and the arcade is adorned with frescoes and mosaics designed by Geza Mariotti. At night, its gold roof serves as a sort of beacon in the skyline. We're truly lucky to have such a work of art right in the middle of the city. And the last one we'll talk about today will be the Masonic Temple. Detroit's Masonic Temple is the largest of its kind in the entire world. There's over 1,000 rooms, including 3 theaters, the Shrine Tower, the chapel, 2 ballrooms, and many lodge rooms. It was designed by George Mason and built between the years 1920 all the way up until about 1926. Today it's used for concerts, events, and Masonic activities. And I mean, what is a Masonic activity anyways? Who cares? That's not what this video is about. And now that I've piqued your interest in Detroit's historic architecture, I'm gonna have to ask you to give me a quick subscribe and a bell ring maybe so that I can let you guys know when I drop a video going over, say, the top 20 historic buildings in Detroit. Or maybe I won't, who knows, but if I did, I sure wouldn't want to miss it.
If so, I'm not editing it.
Either way, for those of you that made it to this point in my video, I can't thank you enough. Without your support, I'd just be another guy with a face. And we all know that I want to be much more than just another guy with a face. But anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Wrap. Oh yeah, I gotta go.
Later, buddy.
I gotta go.